I get emails all the time from companies that want to send me stuff. And it's pretty awesome when a company sends you something that, one, you haven't seen it before, nothing on the market is like it, and two, it's actually awesome and it makes a difference for you. Well, today that happened. I just got back from a fishing experience with a company who sells backpacking fishing rods. These rods are like nothing you have ever seen before. It's like nothing I've ever seen before, and I've been fishing my entire life with spin casting rods. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. Here's a clip. What do we got, baby? Nice. So let's go show you my experience with the Tenkara Rod Company, where I met this guy for the very first time on this trip, and show you exactly how this thing works, and I think you're probably gonna be as impressed as I was. Drew?
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
How's it going?
How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
finally.
you too.
Did you get an Uber here?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you. Good.
We're just gonna go fish and watch me fumble and see what you got, and for some reason people like to watch it. So
Okay.
Where we first just parked, so we found the location on the map. So I was able to pull it up on Onyx and find out that it was all privately owned land. Now we're headed to another location that is supposedly accessible to fish. It's on a boat launch, but we're gonna find out. So hopefully it's got some good fishing. Future Dan here. Before we get to this next fishing spot, I need to explain to you how we got to the next fishing spot, knowing that it was okay to fish there and being on public land instead of private land. So Onyx just saved our rear end. Onyx BACKCOUNTRY, the app, it stopped us from trespassing on someone's land. We were able to look on the app, see if we were on their property, and it turns out we were on property that was privately owned. That's why it's worth it. That's just one of the many reasons it's worth it. So it's also 60% off right now. So if I were you, I'd be picking it up, especially the elite version, because it's got the capability to show you the private and public lands. And it also can show you recent snow imagery so you can see if there's snow where you're going. It's got features for hikers, for campers, for rock climbers, for mountain bikers. It's got features for all those things in the backcountry, and it shows you where campsites are, water sources are. It helps you determine terrain. It helps you plan your entire hike. So if you don't have Onyx, you're missing out. Click the link in the description below for Onyx. I know how easy it is to just brush over checkout surveys. I do it all the time, but I'm asking for your help on this one. Onyx has a checkout survey, and if you just click the drop-down box, all you gotta do is select my name, because that's how they track me. And it's really important, and it helps out the channel, because then they'll continue to be a sponsor of the channel, and we can continue to make videos like this for you. So please make sure you select my name in the checkout when you buy that. After struggling to find a good spot to cast, we ended up at a boat launch with a nice dock. But then we met a local fly fisherman who actually gave us another spot he thinks we should try first that's on public land.
nice outfit. We're eerily similar today.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it? Cool. This is kind of perfect Tenkara water though.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean it's,
Okay.
you don't have to cast very far.
I don't see any fish.
No.
But I mean, at the very least, it's a good place to demonstrate the rod, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is kind of what the rods are designed for. Kind of the small stream, small fish.
We literally met this morning, by the way.
Yep.
Never seen these rods in my life. I don't know anything about Tenkara rods or fly fishing at all. I've spin cast my whole life, and I'm about to see some rods for the first time. All I know is that I think they have the line going through the rod, right? Like the line goes in the rod?
Nope. I'll show you though.
What's?
I'll show you.
Okay.
So-
And these are perfect for backpacking.
Yeah. So that's kind of the setup right there. So you were kind of right, except the line just attaches to the end of the rod right here. So that's the connection point.
Okay.
And this piece of thread is called a lilian, and that connects to the rod. So then this piece right here is just a line holder. It's just used to like store the line when we're not using it.
Okay. You just unravel it all the way?
Yep, just unravel it like this. And then the rod extends out like that. A lot of people's first like instinctive reaction is to just like fling it out, like swing, swing, you know, just like flip it out like that. But you kind of have to do one section at a time just to lock them into place.
Holy cow.
And then that's your rod.
Oh my gosh. How long is that?
So this one's only 10.5 feet. This is kind of like a,
I was not expecting that at all.
this is kind of like our mid-length rod right here.
Only
honest.
10 and a half? How long is a long rod?
We have one that's 14 and a half. 12's kind of like pretty standard length is 12 feet. So longer than a fly rod, you know, longer than normal rod and reel stuff. But it's also a fixed line, so you're not casting very far. So you kind of need that length of the rod in order to get your line out there.
Okay, so I'm a total noob. What do I do?
Yeah, so this rod right here, this, like I said, it's 10 and a half feet. This one packs down to 20 inches. It weighs like 2.8 ounces.
Wait, the rod does?
The rod does.
That whole rod is 2.8 ounces.
Yeah, it's all carbon, so it's like
Holy
really light.
cow, dude.
That's why these are so great for backpacking, is because they don't add, you know, they add like 3 ounces to your
Dude,
pack.
this is, I'm not joking. This is blowing my mind right now, dude. Are you kidding me? So how many people make these?
So it's been around for a long time. It started in Japan. It's a Japanese style of fly fishing. Like old Japanese anglers needed to get into the mountains way high up to catch fish to bring back to sell. And so they created, you know, a lightweight, like portable way to fish. There's a few companies in the US selling them. We've been around for 12 years and just been, you know, making Tenkara rods and fishing as much as we can because it's fun.
Let's fish.
All right. So, I mean, the main difference between this and like a fly rod or like a gear setup is it's a lot simpler because you don't have line that you have to worry about. You essentially don't even ever touch the line. And then casting, it's just kind of like a 10 and 2. So I could just cast.
Is this easier than regular fly fishing?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
This is?
Yeah, this is much easier than regular fly fishing because you don't have to worry about the line.
Wait, you're already casting?
Yeah, so I have the rod's all set up. I have, like I said, it's a 10 and a half foot rod. This is like around a 10 and a half foot line and then a few feet of this tippet material.
Okay.
And then a fly on the end. That's the entire setup. And then to cast, it's really just like that. So if you watch like my hand movement, like I don't even move my hand that much. And that's kind of it.
Can I try that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Shut up, dude. This is literally it?
that's it.
So why do people fly fish? Why wouldn't they just do this?
Obviously this has its limitations, like you can't cast very far. So with a 12-foot rod, a 13-foot line, and maybe a few feet of tippet, you're only casting out like 30 feet.
How long are you leaving the lure down for?
You'll leave your fly out for, you just kind of let it drift back to you. So this creek right here is not moving very fast. So, you know, just kind of let your fly drift back and then pull it up and recast.
This is like my 8th time casting it, and I already feel like I can precisely cast this thing. Do you want your fly to stay on the top of the water like that? Because
this fly in particular is meant to sink a little bit below the surface.
Okay. This is actual proof that complete morons can do this. Of course, we're not catching fish because there's no fish here, because we already walked along it. We didn't see any fish.
Yeah, I think fly fishing kind of has a stigma around it that it's really complicated. There's lots of, I mean, we walked in that fly shop, right? And you saw how much gear there was.
Yes.
And for someone who doesn't fly fish, if you walk in there, it could be a little intimidating.
I'd walk out.
Because it's like, where do you even start? With this style of fishing, it's just a lot more simplified. So it's the rod, the line, the fly. Yeah, that's basically all you need. A lot of fly fishermen use it and love it, and some are kind of like, I don't know, that's not what I'm used to. For me, what I really love about these is how easy it is to take backpacking, you know, or camping.
You have, how many rods are in your backpack right now?
I have like 7 in my backpack that I brought.
I've spin casted my entire life. So it's not like I'm new to fishing at all, but this is blowing my mind. How often do you get tangled up?
Not very often, just because there's not that much line.
All right, now I'm done fishing. I'm putting it away. What do I do? What's the...
Yeah, so you would get your line right here. And then I showed you this line holder already, but I'll just hook the fly onto the line holder like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then just start wrapping your line around it.
Okay.
And then I'll just collapse the rod one section at a time like this. Then finish winding the line. So that's like 30 seconds to like...
You just put it on there? Okay.
I just throw it on there and then, you know, put it in your bag or just carry it to the next spot.
Do you make cases for this too? Does that matter?
Yeah, we have tubes. Yeah, we have tubes for them also. Like,
what do you use when you're out there? Do you use the tube or you're
I
just
don't.
like...
No,
Yeah.
I just carry it like this. The tube is more like
Can I see this?
in your car or whatever.
How much does this weigh?
2.8.
What about the line holder?
Line holder's like point, or maybe like an ounce.
So this
Yeah.
is like an average headlamp weight is what this is. Do you ever use live bait on stuff like this?
I don't personally know.
Do you guys ever?
I'm sure people do. I mean, you can use whatever you want. That's the thing about fishing, right? Is
Yeah.
if you wanted to put a fly on your spin casting, you can do that.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Would you take this to like a mountain lake, for instance?
Yeah.
You would. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think I'd take that specific rod because, like I said, it's 10.5 feet. I'd take a longer one because at a mountain lake, I want to cast out a little bit further. So we designed this one right here. This one's called the Backpacker.
Can I hold it? Oh, good name.
The thing about this one is this one packs down even smaller,
But it's longer.
but it's longer.
Okay.
And it's adjustable.
Is it heavier?
No, same. That's 2.8 as well.
Holy cow. This is 14 feet?
This one is a triple zoom, which means you can fish it at 10 foot 10 inches, 11 foot 10 inches, and 12 foot 10 inches.
If you're backpacking and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to come up with, like come up to, I should say, like something like this or Mountain Lake, this will adapt to wherever you're going.
Yeah, exactly. That's the shortest length. And then,
How do you?
and then this just pops out. And if you listen, like it locks into place right here.
Okay.
So then that's the second length, and then that's the third length. So this one's even longer than that first one, but it's the same. It's the same weight.
I'm sure people think that I'm like trying to be nice to him and cool and all that stuff. I am legitimately blown away by this. This is blowing my mind. Yeah, show me how to put a line on here.
So at the end of the line, there's this little loop. It's really easy. So you just loop that back onto the line itself,
Okay.
and it makes like a little
Yeah.
setup like that. And then on this piece of thread that's on the end of your line, you tie a little knot. You see there's just like a little...
Yeah. Is it just a slip knot?
And you just... Yeah, exactly.
That's it?
That's it, and it just stops right on that knot, and you're good. For me, my personality too is like kind of more minimalist when it comes to gear. And so I like this because it's like only the essentials. Like you don't have to learn very much. It can get just like anything, it can get technical, it can get more complex, but for the most part, it's just so simple, you know?
How do you quote unquote reel in a fish?
The length of the line is about the same length as your rod.
Okay.
So you don't really need to reel. Hold on like as if you were gonna, if you had a fish on, and then just pull the rod back behind you. Like if you hold it up like this. So that's kind of what you would do if you had a fish on. You just hold it back like this. And since the line's about the same length as the rod, by the time you do this, the fish is
up out of the water
at your feet basically. So you just reach down and net it or grab it.
Do we want to try to find another spot? I just don't think there's going to be fish in here. There are no fish. So this is where the trail crosses the creek again. Well, sort of crosses the creek, at least slightly accessible, but there's nothing down there at all. Should we go back and try that dock, you think?
Let's do it. Yeah, the river was a little bit of a bust, so.
Got skunked. All there is pretty cold.
Yeah.
Too, so might have scared him away. Let's go check that dock.
Try it again?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
I feel like on this lake, I'm going to go all the way out.
Yeah. And then since we're not sight fishing, if you feel like a hit, just kind of lift the rod up and that's your set. Since these rods are so thin, like the tip is so thin, you can really feel when the fish like hit it.
Okay.
If you want to also, you can give the fly like some movement, like by pulsing the rod.
Okay.
And that might entice some of these fish to come.
I love how far out I can be. Like this is blowing my mind how long this thing is.
The rod?
Yeah. I just think it's too cold because we've had some really warm weather, and I feel like that cold burst that's just come through is really giving a shock to the lakes. Probably freaked out the fish. So tell me about your company. How long have you been around?
So we started the company in 2013. We just kind of launched on Kickstarter. That's how we started. Because I had been fishing with these rods for a few years, and there wasn't really a lot of rods out there. So I was like, oh, I'll just make a couple, give them to friends and family, put them on Kickstarter. And then it ended up doing like $90,000 on Kickstarter for that project. And so I was like, okay, well, this is what I do now. So we just kind of went from there. And yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
So are you one of the originals?
Yeah, we're one of the original Tenkara brands here in the U.S. It's been around for a long time because it's a Japanese style of fishing, so there's quite a few Japanese brands. It's just when you buy something from Japan, it's hard to get like the customer support, and like the shipping is all weird and everything like that. So people like buying the U.S. stuff.
And then the big question, what is, like, for instance, everybody's going to want to know this rod, about this rod, this backpacker rod. How much do you sell this for?
That's going to be $295 for the kit, and that comes with like the rod, the line, the flies, line holder, tippet, kind of everything you need to fish. Our other models, like this one is the sawtooth. This one's $195 for that setup. So that one's a little more premium just because of the functionality of it, and the materials are a little bit more premium as well.
Do you sell skunkless poles?
We're working on it. That's in development.
Okay.
Well, I got skunked. I don't think it's Rod's fault.
That's good to know.
All right, where can people find you?
TenkaraRodCo.com, or on Instagram, Tenkara Rod Company, YouTube, Tenkara Rod Co.
Cool. I love it. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome. Thanks for coming out. And,
Yeah, appreciate it.
go check them out.
Yeah, that was fun.
See you in the next one.